Manchester City 2, Chelsea 0 on the opening Super Sunday of the English Premier League season. And the champions continue their unbeaten run at the back end of last season that now stretches to 10 straight wins. Life for Enzo Mercesa starts with a defeat. Lots to unpack, lots to talk about in relation to that game. The good, the bad, the ugly, the indifference. Obviously, we want to get your views. We want to get your opinions. We want to get your reaction to today's game. The panel coming later on the show as well. But hit the like button first of all. Make sure you're subscribing. Get the bell notification hit as well. Plus, a big shout out to our title sponsors, NordVPN. They protect you online. They protect your personal data, your bank details, so much stuff. They even just protect your computer from viruses and it being broken and costing you thousands of pounds. But my favorite part of using NordVPN means I can change my geolocation. And those 3 p.m. Premier League games are legally, I will add, legally, not through sticking something into your TV or buying some piracy. Legally, you can sign up to Setanta Sport for $3.99 per month. You use Ukraine, you use Georgia, you use Moldova, and look at all the sport you get for just $3.99 a month. The Premier League, Champions League, the UFC, even their pay-per-views, I will add as well. So get signed up to NordVPN, and if you want complete access to an amazing sporting package legally, no dodgy streams, no dodgy links, no plugging in sort of what you call fire sticks to your TV or computer, get signed up to Setanta Sports right now. But today, look, today was a masterclass. I'm going to start off by saying it. It was a masterclass. Manchester City at times toyed with Chelsea. Have you ever had a pet cat? If you've had a pet cat, you'll remember your cat doing this at least once. It catches a mouse or they catch a bird and they don't kill it. They just keep it alive. And every time it thinks it's going to fly or run away, the cat just bang, grabs it and drags it back. On reflection of that game, that is very much what Manchester City did. They won. They deserve to be the winners today. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. However, I still feel like City were maybe in first gear for large parts of that game. I was expecting them to put their foot on the throttle, try to score more goals, try to kill off Chelsea earlier. They didn't do it. There was a period at the beginning of the second half where Chelsea looked dangerous. They had 3 or 4 shots. Jackson maybe should have scored. They were starting to look a little bit dangerous. And City went, you know what? We're not having it. We're not having it. They got hold of the ball 60-odd minutes, 65 minutes into the game, and they killed it. And from that point onwards, Dewsbury Hall came on to the pitch. Guiu came on. Neto came on. And this is not a dig at Chelsea. I'm going to move on to Chelsea in a minute. City just said, not on your Nelly. They played in first gear. They reserved energy. They passed it around with ease. They waited for a Chelsea mistake, and Kovacic killed the game off. And as I said, I think they toyed with their food today, Manchester City. In terms of the game, look, it started off, I thought, quite well. Both teams getting hold of the ball, trying to play out from the back, trying to be on the front foot. And I thought, okay, we're in for an entertaining game. And then as that first goal went in, it reminded me of Chelsea pre-season, ball watching, not concentrating, and the midfield kind of emptied out as they were dragged out wide. A great first-time ball from Bernardo Silva, and then Erling Haaland does what this man does best. A great first touch, nice bit of skill and strength, and then a delightful finish to make it 1-0. And then Chelsea had a little bit of a wobble where they give it Enzo today. He gave the ball away countless times. We're going to move on to him in a minute. City didn't capitalize, though. And then right towards the end of the first half, again, Chelsea had a little bit of an opportunity. A decent shot from Palmer. It was terribly spilled by Edison. A big fumble from him. And from that point, Jackson should have made it 1-1. But he didn't because he wasn't keeping himself online. Absolutely criminal forward play from him, it really was. In terms of Chelsea, look, I was worried about them in pre-season because they were inverting their fullbacks. And although that helped them in their approach play, whenever they lost the ball, they looked vulnerable. They were out of position and they were really struggling to defend. Today, Mercesa dropped that idea. It may just be for today. We may see it return midweek when they play their European game. We may see it return in the next round of Premier League games. But today they were very, very basic in their shape. And I thought that was the most sensible thing they could do, and it was good. But they were also very basic for large parts of the game in their patterns of play. I saw much better from them in pre-season. And maybe that stems from the fullbacks inverting and kind of catching their opponents out. But when they went for that more basic approach, the more basic patterns, it was quite easy at times for Manchester City to control the game. And Chelsea had a lot of the ball, but it was possession in areas that weren't particularly dangerous. The positives, though, for Chelsea, look, they did create some opportunities and chances, and they will do that throughout the course of the season. I also thought Lavia was absolutely standout today. Absolutely standout for Chelsea. I thought he had an excellent performance. Quite a few people online moaning and complaining that he was taken off. But this is a man who didn't kick a ball last year. I think you have to manage his minutes early in this season well to ensure that you don't fatigue him, you don't hurt him, you don't damage him in that way. You really, really do. But I thought Lavia was good today. I thought Cucurella had a decent game, especially up against Doku in the early stages as well. And Chelsea can grow from this point. I'm not going to sit here. Yes, I thought City in the end, barring a 10-minute spell in the second half and a flurry towards the end of the first, it was comfortable for City. They dominated territories with consummate ease, in my opinion. But this isn't to write Chelsea off. Chelsea can grow from this point. They're not going to play a team of Manchester City's quality week in, week out of the Premier League campaign. They're just not. So to write them off now, I think is very, very premature. When it comes to City, as I've said, I think there's levels and levels and levels and levels more to come from these City players without a shadow of a doubt. I thought Bernardo Silva was excellent in the middle today. No Rodri, no problem whatsoever. Doku frustrated me. I thought some of his decision-making was poor, especially when he's in really good areas. But I went off with the injury. I was really impressed with Savinho. I really like him. I think there's a player in there. And it was as a football fan, it was frustrating to see him going off the pitch injured. It really, really was. I thought that he was having a real impact in the game. Haaland is who Haaland. I would have given him the man of the match, to be fair, but I got why Bernardo Silva had it. But Haaland just does Haaland things. I think it's genuinely one of the most disrespectful takes in football, where people say that he's just a tap-in merchant. The goal he scored today is not what a tap-in merchant does. There's not very many number 9s in the world that can even do it. Touch was good. Skill was good. The power was unprecedented. And the finish was out of this world. It's so hard to... That goal was so difficult. So difficult indeed. And yeah, he comes up trumps again. I think that's something like, I'm going to get this stat wrong. What, 91 goals in 100 games for City? It's absolutely amazing. And someone here outside of the box, though, he's ineffective. Why does that matter? You can. The thing is, if you've got someone that's, say you've got a footballer that plays in the wing and they're left-footed and their right foot is bang average, but with their ability and their left foot, they outscore and outcreate 95% of all other wingers in the world. It doesn't matter that they're not good on their right foot. It becomes an irrelevance because it's like an offset mortgage. You can offset that against how good they are. Haaland is so good in the box that you can offset that against the fact that he can't do outside the box what Wayne Rooney could, as an example. For me, it's just not a talking point in my personal opinion that really needs to happen. We are bringing out the panel very soon. I'm not too sure where the Chelsea fans are at right now. They have all got the link. I'm sure KJ has shared the link again. I'm going to go check in the group chats whether that's been done. But Don and Ches, boys, we want to see you today. We want to hear from you today. I hope you guys are coming. We're going to have Mo. We're going to have Husam. We're going to have Dio on the show as well very, very soon. But yeah, the link has been shared. I can see that. KJ shared it. I just wanted to check because I want to hear from people. I want to get your views and your wonderful opinions. I really, really do. I'm just sharing the link in a different group chat as well. So that's all done. Let's do some of your super chats that are coming in here. I want to hear from you now before the panel comes out. I'm just going to timestamp when the super chats started, so you guys can all see him. Mate, dominate. I'll be serious. Listen, Godswill, you know I'm very respectful. You know I don't exaggerate. That's not true. Sometimes I do. We all do. But I'm not exaggerating here. City dominated with ease. City played with their food today. I mean it. Sanchez, we better banish this bum. Awful goalkeeper. Yeah, I mean, he made a few mistakes as well today that could have been costly. Enzo, shit. Lavia baller, love him. We need Husam. I'm going to say this now. Every single Chelsea fan who comes on the football terrace, who had a go at Pochettino last year, that slagged off Poch last year, and rightfully so, I will add, for playing Enzo in the 10, I need their energy today. He can't do it. It's not his position. There was a few good passes from him. I'm not going to say that every single thing he did was poor, but he's just not a number 10. You then have Nkunku playing in his weakest position. And those were two big mistakes from Enzo Mercesa today. Play people in their natural positions when you're trying to build this system, especially against a team of that quality. And I think playing a midfield 3 that consists of Lavia, Caicedo, and Enzo, it isn't going to work if you need one of them to be a 10. One of those 3 has got to drop out of this team. And you made Enzo captain, so he had to stay on as well. And yeah, for me, I think playing Enzo in a 10 is crazy. And I'm sure Don and all the guys that used to absolutely rip Poch for playing him in the 10 are going to have that. They've got to have that same energy today. I mean, Poch had riddled with injuries. I mean, there's no reason to play him in the 10 today. Jerome says that Chelsea team has so much world-class players in there now. How on earth could they be that bad? It will take time, but Chelsea will become truly scary. Look, they do have some really good players, and it is gonna take time. There's no doubt about it. I don't think they should be written off. I do think though that playing Enzo as a 10 is just stupid. Felix tomorrow can finally drop that bum Enzo, is what Dyke says here. Make sure you cook Don, Terry. It was Poch's fault. Look, I'm going to say this. I don't know. I think Don went to the game today, so I'm not sure if he's going to be coming on, if I'm being honest. Poch was responsible for a lot of what was wrong last year. There's no doubt about it. And I do think that Mercesa is trying to instill a new system that could be beneficial for Chelsea. There's no doubt. Where you do have to keep the energy the same is when he makes the same mistakes. When he starts players out of position. You can't moan about one manager doing it and not the next. That's crazy. Chelsea look like the Temu version of City, introducing their manager. Temu is a sham online shop that sells cheap items to give you context. Yeah, we all know what Temu is, but Enzo needed to bring on Madueke for Enzo and allow Palmer to play centrally. Enzo was bang average as a 6, 8, and 10 and should not start. Chelsea fans very, very angry with Enzo Fernandez today. Viewers, do you agree with this analysis from the Chelsea fans? Do you agree with their analysis? How frustrated are you with Enzo's inclusion? Look, I thought at halftime they should have taken Enzo off and brought... I thought Neto could have been Madueke. I would have put Nkunku centrally. I mean, you could have done both. You actually could have brought on Madueke and Neto, taken off Jackson, who was horrendous today. Jackson was absolutely horrendous in nearly every single element of the game. Taken off him and Enzo, and then you could have kind of played, although it's not a proper number 9, you could have put Nkunku and Cole Palmer more central. There was loads of options. Chelsea are a good side with time. City, though, they did this without Rodri. They are hungry, believe me. As I said, I think they dominated with ease. They really did. Sanchez has another 6 years on his deal. Wow, that's crazy. That is crazy. Expect Cole Palmer's numbers to reduce. This team close him down more, and I don't like too much how we play out. But overall, Mercesa better work his magic. I will say this as well. I'm going to defend Chelsea here. You're playing the best team in the world, in my opinion, today. This isn't the acid test to see whether or not you've progressed as a football team. It's going to take a number of football matches against a number of opponents. There are things to take from here that were good. Like Lavia, he's a name on the starting lineup that should not be touched. You know, Cucurella, Augusto, these guys. There's a few players you look at and go, they're staple members of this team now, almost no matter what's going on, barring terrible form or injury. I think that a decision has to be made, or whether or not they do. Because I think they dropped the inverting today because they knew what was going to happen if they did. And it was still caught in possession and opened up a few times. So, look, lots to do. But we'll see with Palmer's numbers. We'll see. City's chemistry won today. Kovacic and Lewis playing well in place of Rodri and Walker. It shows how well the team, with a few changes to a squad that have played together for a few years, can be. Yeah, City were just great. Like, City were genuinely brilliant today. There's no doubt about it. This was a full Chelsea squad. Their team tactics were just pass with no end product. Jackson has no football IQ. That handball was a pen, and the other one as well. It wasn't. So again, you've got what I'll say about the penalty. The handball penalty is a new rule or interpretation of the rule has come down. They want defenders to stop defending with their hands behind their back. So I've said it for years. When you do what, when you run towards a player to close him down, your arms go up like this because you can't run and stop without your arms going up naturally. It's impossible. It is a natural position. It's not a red card in reality, and it isn't a red card by the new derivatives that have been brought in. Directives that have been brought in. What is a derivative? I know what a derivative is, but that's not the right word. Cucurella's chant came back to haunt him. The football god strike again. Yeah, a little bit. Rico Lewis, take a bow. What a player and performance. Yes, he was excellent today. He really was. Lots of money because Chelsea limited Haaland to 2 shots. I needed 4. Props to the London Cowboys. Have you seen? I've never seen a more overrated player than Enzo, is what Hamid says here. He's getting a lot of stick today, Enzo. Enzo was bang average today. Kovacic showed him levels. As a Chelsea fan, I am not expecting to win the game. We're not there yet. Mercesa needs time. He's going to need time. Of course he is. Lee Bell here. Excuse me, says Chelsea are finished. I blame the clueless owners. That's coming from a Chelsea fan, that is. Cover dunked on you lots. What's more alarming about Enzo is his first touch. Atrocious. Yeah, it was so poor today. He played a few good balls in, had a few good moments today, but overall, he was poor in that 10 position. He really was. Rico is such a baller. He is definitely next up. Yeah, I like him. He's very talented. You got a net curtain on, bro. Now, bro, see, this is the thing. I've been sitting out in my garden by the pool. It's a pool shirt, bruv. Been by the pool chilling. What do you expect me to wear? It's just one of my Hawaii tops. I love it, bruv. You should see the shorts. Listen, as well, you can't mock my clothes. I'm very comfortable in myself. I love this shirt. It's great. Chelsea looked more threatening with Poch, to be honest. It's a great. I'm going to save that conversation. We'll save that super chat. World class, my ass, is what AMD says. Jackson can't stay on side. 2 goals missed. Agreed. If you're obsessed about playing this style, it simply takes time. There is no player on the face of planet Earth that instantly solves this. No, I agree. Apologies for yawning. It was a late one last night. The UFC. What a fight that was as well between Duplessis and one of my goats, Adesanya. And I love the embrace at the end as well. I like trolling when it comes to football. I don't like trolling when it comes to fighting because you don't play fighting. It's 2 men that could literally kill each other doing it. And their embrace at the end was brilliant. And another great advert for the sport of MMA. Yeah, but I'm knackered. I'm absolutely knackered. Watch Don come out and say Enzo is a world-class player. Remember, it was him and Will and the guys all said he walks into the Arsenal team. That's just ridiculous. Lavia could play for Arsenal. See, I'll be honest with you. This isn't people to think I'm dunking on Chelsea. I'm not, because I'm praising them at the same time. What I saw from Lavia today, I haven't ever seen Enzo be that good for Chelsea personally. That's how good I thought Lavia was today. How good I thought Cucurella was today overall. I just don't remember Enzo doing it personally. Edison was trying hard to keep Chelsea in the game. It's true. Pep took it easy on Enzo. Game could have ended 5-0. Maybe. Enzo in the 10, stinker. Enzo in the 8, stinker. Enzo in the 6, stinker. What is Enzo good at Chelsea? Chelsea fans, tell me, is what Matt says here. A game of moments, silly first goal, and keeper should have saved the second one. Need a striker. No, I'm not frustrated with Enzo. Bad tactics cost him. At least you're keeping the same energy, Kieran. That's why I respect you, bro. I respect you for that. Next tough game isn't until Liverpool in October. We can make up for this lot. I'm going to be honest with you, Jiggy. I think if your players go in with it with that mentality that you come out with, God, that's it, guys. No more tough games until October. You'll come a cropper. The Premier League is hard, bruv. The Premier League is hard. Have you seen most of the results this weekend have been by 1 or 2 goal margins? The Premier League is tough. And they wanted to chat about Havertz. Jackson is a fraud. Gary here says City dominated with ease. That's not over-exaggerating. I think they did dominate with ease today. I told you it was like a cat playing with a mouse. I mean it. I think if City wanted to turn up the heat and the tempo, there was a period in this game after you guys had a good flurry of opportunities. They killed it for 20 minutes straight. That is what I call dominating a game with ease. If Mercesa needs time, why sack Poch and repeat the process again? It's a fair challenge. Terry looking good, bro. Thank you, mate. I know I do. I'm very confident in how I look. I love it, bruv. I love it. Getting Lavia off was a mistake. Early days. Enzo was poor. Greetings from Montreal. Big up yourself in Montreal, one of my favorite cities in the world. Mr. Happy here says, if Kovacic went past my DM the way he went past Caicedo, I'd be telling him to start learning Arabic. Off the ball, Caicedo is very suspect. Oh, you mean you can send him to Saudi? I didn't know what you meant by that at the beginning, then I got it. Haaland's goal was right, but PGMOL still showing incompetence by not having an Omni-automated offside ready. Yeah, I mean, it should have been ready by now, but it's coming, I think, after the first international break. Bringing out the panel now, we've got CB, we've got Andrew, Winter Surfer, we've got man like David, we've got Dayu, we've got Mo on as well. If you haven't hit the like button yet, get it done. Make sure, though, you shouldn't be on the internet without a VPN provider. And the best one in the world, in my humble opinion, is Nord. You can get 4 months extra for free, plus some gifts if you sign up with my QR code or my special link below. But when you have it, Premier League 3 p.m. games, $3.99 a month, legal streaming all year. Once you have the VPN set up and you get that done through the link, as I say, go onto your app store, put in Setanta Sports. You'll see it. It's an amazing company. All that sport for $3.99 a month, and it's legal. It's legal because you're paying a genuine subscription. Unless, by the way, your country doesn't allow VPNs and don't download it. I don't want anyone breaking the law. But if your country allows VPNs, get it done now. Stop the piracy. Stop all of that nonsense, which they're really cracking down on. There are people now in the UK that are not allowed internet at their house due to the piracy stuff they're doing. So get yourself signed up now. Panel time, people. Here we I didn't realize you that. When it said Jay, I didn't realize it was Javern. Hey, my boy. Javern's here. We've got Javern. We've got CB. We have Andrew, we've got David, we've got Dio, we've got Mo on the show. I'm going to go to you first, Javern, the J-Dog. What did you make of Chelsea today, brother? Oh, you're on mute, bruv. You're my engineer and you're on mute. Come on.
Yo, hopefully you can hear me. What's good, everyone? So I've been taking a bit of shots at Don and Ches about this whole looking good on the ball. We didn't deserve to lose thing. And like after today, I can see why they're so excited with the way how Chelsea play. But for me personally, I think it's going to be a long season. I see that the signs are there, but there were just mistakes. And I hope some of them get addressed because like you said earlier, a lot of people were calling for Poch when he played players out of position, played players here and there. So I expect the same energy, but we'll see. But I expected that. I didn't think that Chelsea were going to win that at all. There's a lot of possession, but no end product. Jackson looked awful. Personally, I think that maybe Nkuku should have played up front instead. Palmer behind him. Like Palmer was best for us centrally, not on the wing. But teething issues, I guess. Dewsbury Hall apparently is meant to unlock the system. He didn't even start. Enzo. Enzo is Enzo, but that's just me. That's what I wanted to say really on this. I'm just interested to see what a lot of the other Chelsea fans, because as you all know, I'm very pessimistic. I'm not really
I get you are.
this positive. They won't do nothing
you,
because at the end of the day, a goal is what wins games.
I hear you, bro. Look, CB's with us, and look, Enzo started in the 10 today. Poch was ridiculed for that the whole of last season. Did you feel that was a big mistake that hurt Chelsea today, CB? Yeah, I think he's frozen. We'll come back to CB. I'll throw that to David. Enzo in the 10 today. He's getting a lot of criticism. What did you make of it, mate?
I don't know why people are sat here saying, I hope you give the same energy, because the reason people got annoyed at Poch is that it was a repeated thing. So, like, you can't really give the same energy on the first day of the season.
Hello. You can.
None of us. Okay. No, but you can't. Personally, I wouldn't, because one, I thought he would do this anyway. I said on Thursday and on the Top 6 show, I said, I anticipate against bigger sides, he might start off with a 3 of Caicedo, Enzo, and Navia, just because he doesn't want to go so gung ho straight away with, you know, the current issues with the system in terms of the players not knowing it that well. But again, even when we took Enzo off, I didn't think we were particularly more threatening whether he was in the 10 or not. So I don't think Enzo Fernandez is the reason we lost this game today. I don't think anyone expected us to win this game. So I find the reaction a bit weird. I just feel like people just kind of want to get at us because they know that currently we're not in the best spot. And
Enzo played 90 minutes, David.
But I didn't think Enzo was particularly dreadful today. Okay. Could he have been better? Of course, he could have been better, but I don't think he was the reason we lost that game today.
But David, you also have to give context to Poch. Poch had a lot of injuries, so maybe that's why he played Enzo in the 10. You don't have injuries like that right now. Why are you still playing him in the 10? So the question is, I'm saying, hold on.
Can I answer the question then? If you're gonna ask me a question,
I wasn't done with the question though. I wasn't done. I was trying to, yeah. So I was saying, like, if you have the context around Poch is that there was injury, so we could understand maybe why he played players out of position, because he didn't have a lot of players, and we have to give that context to any manager. We have the number of injuries, but with Enzo Mercesa right now, you don't have that many injuries, and you have players that can play in the 10, like Cole Palmer, put Pedro Neto on the right, and then drop somebody else. I mean, you brought Neto, who can play on the right, and Palmer could have gone into the 10 role. So the idea that we shouldn't hold the same energy for this manager, seeing that he has the tools available to him. Explain that to me. That's confusing for me.
If you listen to what I said before, I said I anticipated he would have started with this system because he wouldn't want to go so gung-ho from minute 1 against Man City. I wouldn't expect him to. If our first game was Nottingham Forest, I wouldn't expect him to start with that midfield 3 because it's Man City. He doesn't want to open us up straight away, and then we're 3-0 down in 20 minutes and the game's over. But oh wow, Enzo didn't play in the 10, so we've got to find.
Would you be okay with it?
Well, if he played,
you're happy with Enzo in the 10.
If again, it depends how it all plays out. If Enzo plays,
happy with Enzo in the 10.
Enzo plays in the 10 and it works, I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay.
And again, I wasn't one of the fans that went at Poch anyway. So you can't hold that standard against me.
I'm just asking. I just
want to. I get it. I'm just saying from my perspective. Again, I'm not on Twitter or anything, so I don't see all the nonsense that people chat because that's where idiots go to have a conversation. Personally, that's what I believe. So I did not think today. I didn't think today we were dreadful. I feel like everyone's coming at this from such a negative standpoint, acting like, oh yeah, City were in first gear, but we were in 8th gear. We weren't in 8th gear. We may not have been in first gear, but we weren't. That's not Chelsea full on firing. And if Nicholas Jackson can, finish one of his chances or stay on side, and we lose 2-1, this game has a different output. And my thing that I had with Poch last year was people were having a go at him, but are not looking at what is also going on the field at the same time. If we had an Osimhen today, if we don't win the game, it would have been at least 2-1, and we would have scored a goal, and it wouldn't have been so bad.
But David, my thing, David, it's not about Enzo.
He's just a straw man because everyone's like, oh, he's 100 mil, so let's.
David is not about.
Yeah.
Yeah, David, I didn't even hear before. I'm just guessing. I just took a wild guess.
David, what I'm asking is like, you have a new manager and you actually have players that can play in those roles. Why aren't you playing? Why isn't he playing the best players for those? Like Palmer can play a 10.
Hear me out.
I'm just.
You listen.
I listened to what I heard. I heard what. I said what he said. He doesn't want to listen, David. David, what he said was he doesn't want to.
He's playing him because he's captain. That's a simple reason.
Exactly.
He's captain.
And I'm asking myself,
guys, let me just jump in for a second, guys, and just to try and control the conversation again. To Chez's point, the reason why Enzo's come up as a conversation.
It's his point. Answer the question. I didn't make a point.
Well, you made a point. You said you made a point.
I asked a question. Let me guess. Everyone's talking about Enzo.
Yeah, hang on. But it's a rhetorical question, which makes it a point, my friend. That's how the English language works. So, to your point, the reason why Enzo came up is because we had an abundance of super chats from Chelsea fans kicking off about it. It wasn't a topic that we, as rivals, brought to the table. Chelsea fans did. So,
fair point. But what was the point they made? Because I didn't see that bit.
So the point that people made, and I want to throw this to you, is that a lot of them have said he's awful player, crap player. They don't want to see him in the team. There's also a percentage that are stating that Poch got a lot of stick last year for playing him in the 10. You know he doesn't work in the 10, so they're criticizing Mercesa for putting him straight back into the 10, where Chelsea fans know he can't play. Is that a fair criticism? No one's saying he's completely at fault for the loss, but do you think it's a fair criticism to your new manager to play your captain in a position that we all know he can't play?
Yeah, if you're talking about if Mercesa does it for a long period of time, there's a very fair point to make. But if he does it for one game, in the first game of the season against Man City, where you don't want to go with just two midfielders, you want to keep it compact in there, and he drops in defensive situations, then cool. If this happens in our next game against Wolves, and the game after that, and the game after that, that's a fair critique to make. I think it's as simple as that. Like, it didn't work. But I'm not going to sit here and say it can't work in the new system. He didn't change very much, Mercesa. From what I saw against Poch today, it was like a drastic change of tactics.
I get you on that. What did you make overall? What did you make overall today, Chez? Your first proper game with your new manager, his system, etc. What was your reflection on it?
If that's Man City in their pomp with a team that's been there for how many years, the same team, the same manager, the same system, I don't think we got outplayed at all in that game, at all. And I actually think for a team that's just been put together with this manager and the way we played, it was respectable enough. Where if I can add an Osimhen in the team or a striker, and we take one of those chances, which were very clear cut, by the way, they weren't half chances. There were very clear cut opportunities that Jackson could have scored. We walk out of that game with a 1-1, worst case scenario, 2-1. And is anybody going to sit here and tell me Chelsea drawing that game is an embarrassment? No, they're not. So for me, it's very fine margins in us losing this game and drawing and even winning it, if you want to be that pedantic, right? So for me, I'm not embarrassed about that game at all. Like, I'm looking at going, next game, I want to see us bounce, take more opportunities. And if you play with the same system with Enzo in the 10 and it doesn't work, then I'll be in that same bandwagon. But anybody coming on here after me going overly negative, talking about this tactics, talking about that, you're just too premature. Let it land. Let it play out.
Can I say something, Terry, please? Okay.
Go on.
Yeah, I want to say, here's the thing. Chez might not himself have done it, but I've listened to a lot of the Chelsea content creators, including the guy next to me and many others. Whenever this is the problem now for me, change of energy. Terry, yesterday, he was like, Husam called Liverpool dreadful and he called United dreadful on Friday. Same energy. The problem is, Poch last season played Enzo on the 10 one time. You all came here and you shat on him for an hour straight and you blamed him for the result. And you said
it wasn't one time. It wasn't one time. It wasn't one time. No, because you're wrong. It wasn't one time.
Let him speak. Let him speak.
Please let people finish their points.
Can I just get 2 minutes? Thank you very much. Anyway, so when Poch played Enzo on the 10, he's not a 10. He's a dictator of tempo. You should put him deeper, and he should do this, and he should do that, and blah, 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 blah. And Kuko on the left as well today. And it's just the problem I have is the following. You guys need to choose a pathway now. As Chelsea fans, are you going to sit up here and realize that this is some long-term shit where you'll be good 2 years from now? Or are you going to continue in the delusion? Because there's no longer Abramovich era, no longer Abramovich players, no longer Abramovich type of results. you're not going to get results in the short term. And the type of stuff that happened today is going to happen again and again and again. Last season, you didn't give the grace to Pochettino when Jackson was missing chances. So why should you give today Mercesa the praise when Jackson's missing chances? You can hold your head all you want. The first 6 months of last season, Jackson was compared to Nunez and Højlund.
You're lying.
Jackson was a meme. All of a sudden now you want to go like, oh, Jackson missed 2 chances. And how many times last season did Jackson miss chances? Last season, in the 3 games, Chelsea played against City. You were better than them in the FA Cup. You were better than them at the Etihad. You were better than them at Stamford Bridge. And you were unlucky to not win all 3 games last season. So you need to understand that this is a process that will take a long time. And even if there is light at the end of the tunnel, the light comes 2 years from now. It doesn't come now. Because you have not signed any player that's life-changing. There's 3 good players at Chelsea. And I say that again. Palmer, Caicedo, and Gusto. Don't mention Reece James because he's in a relationship with the nurse. The others are all if, buts, maybes, if this happens, if that happens. And Enzo proved it again today. It's not that we're ganging up on Enzo as a player. We're talking about this is your 2nd full season, bro. Like you played already 6 months. You played another season. This is your full season now. And you've been made vice captain, which means because Reece James is always injured, essentially you're the captain. So you have to deliver this season. All these just giving people chances out. You didn't give the other people grace like this. So just keep the same energy.
I'm gonna let Ches respond.
You just lied completely there.
Yeah, of course.
You didn't go after Poch
until
the second half of the season.
Let me tell you,
this is 1 game. This is, by the way, I don't want number 8 in my club.
Andrew, let me deal with him. What he'll do is he'll jump on the streams, talking riddles, rhyme, talk a lot of waffle, add a few lies in there, and then say a statement at the end that sounds and makes sense, and then goes with it. The manager said 1 game. Poch was doing it 4 games. He played Chilwell left wing 4 games. There's systematic errors in Poch's system, which is why a lot of people wanted him out.
So
I wasn't one of those people. I didn't interrupt you. I wasn't one of those people who was like, I wasn't one of those people who said Poch out from the very beginning. And
the point is last season, the first time that Poch played Enzo in the 10th, the first time you came here and shot on Poch.
Guys, please, sorry, let me just jump in, please. Please let me let Ches. Guys, there's a lot of us on. Can we please let people finish and then I'll direct it to somebody else just so that we're not all talking over each other? Because I'm going to let Ches finish and then I want to hear what CB's got to say. Go on, Ches.
What I'm saying to Husam is his points are very, very generalized. It's been 1 game of what we just watched, which wasn't a terrible match. We got slaughtered by Man City. They took us apart at home. And Husam's sitting here going, look what Poch did. Look what Mercesa did. It's very similar. It's going to take 2 years. What the hell are you talking about? It's been 1 game where the manager didn't want to change too much in the game. He's put Enzo 10, which we all disagree with, by the way. No one's going to sit and defend it. It didn't work. So if he does it the game after next and the game after next, then we'll be with you and say he needs to change it up. It's as simple as that. But I'm not looking at this game. I'm going to make mad statements, mad judgments. You're talking about 2 years from now. It's been 1 game. We waffling about.
I didn't make a mad statement either.
I think one thing I would say before I go CB is this. I get it's 1 game, and if you listen to what I said in my opening monologue, I think there were some really positive things for Chelsea today. Lavia being one of them. I thought he looked amazing as an example. The only thing I would say is this. As a Man United fan, I know that Scott McTominay can't play as DM. So if we get a new manager tomorrow and in the first game he plays him in DM, I don't care about his system. McTominay's not a fucking DM. And I think the issue one thing I would say is this, is that it isn't throwing Mercesa or Enzo, you've got to be careful when you say their names now, under the bus to say don't do that again, because irrespective of other problems with your team today in terms of teething issues and everything else. But you all know as well as I do, Enzo is never going to be an effective number 10 in any capacity. And the biggest mistake he made, you guys talk about how he was meant to, help put more bodies in the middle. He wasn't. He was pushing so far up. He was being marked out the game by their centre-backs. He didn't know where to position himself. And I think it's fair criticism. What I do agree with, though, with Ches is throwing the manager under the bus after making this mistake game week 1 would be ridiculous. CB, what was your thoughts on today's performance overall by Chelsea? And, I'd love to get your take on that, mate.
The performance today, I'm going to be honest, I'm shaking in anger. I'm Steven. I've spent the past 2024 being gaslighted by all the clear light cuts. They're all cuts, including a couple people in the panel here that hypotheticals. If it rains this day, if there's rainbows this day, maybe the system, all of this waffle. I look at our transfer window. We didn't improve on any single player that we've signed. Baby Pedro Neto, that's a good one. He's injury prone, like the other ones. And then when he gets injured, it's going to be, when he comes back, when he's fit again, when is all of this. I saw this team put 4 past Man City at the exact same fixture last year. We also scored a goal against the Etihad. We dominated at Wembley. We didn't win the game. Ultimately, no one talks about us dominating the game. We lost. Same again today. I'm looking at the system, and I've saw this throughout the whole preseason, because the only win we had at preseason was against Club America, which is a Mexican team that I'm not really familiar with. I don't know if you guys are. I don't do them type of football manager saves. I do the top 5 leagues. We only had 1 win, and I was seeing a lot of foreplay football. Foreplay, edging, foreplay, no penetration. It's the same again today. I'm not seeing anything that really. Our biggest strengths as Chelsea last season was we put the ball in the back of the net. No matter you say what you want about us defensively, we put the ball in the back of the net. So now I've looked at our preseason, I've assessed our struggling to break down teams. Pass. Nothing's going on. No clear-cut chances are being made. I'm looking at the situation here. There's no improvement. You guys have criticized Pochettino when it came to players being out of position. I saw Gusto playing in the 10, basically in midfield today. I saw Enzo as second striker. I'm seeing all of these things. I saw Fofana against Inter Milan, box-to-box midfield. I'm seeing all of these things. Why are we not holding Pochettino accountable for it? I mean, Mercesa accountable the same way we hold Pochettino accountable for it. In terms of Enzo Fernandez, if I'm being honest, I said this from the very beginning. They accused me of having an agenda. He's not who you guys say it is. Every week there's something new. Oh, play him deeper. Oh, play him DM. Oh, he's not a DM. He shouldn't sit. Oh, let him free roam. Oh, put him further up the pitch. The guy, they compare him to Tony Cruz, this fan base. They compare him to Tony Cruz. This is the fan base we have to deal with constantly. Oh, yeah, we're going to be in another thing that's really irritating me is the top 4 talk. Since when, as Chelsea, do we go into a season demanding top 4? Oh, yeah, we need to finish top 4. If we don't finish top 4, we've turned into Wenger's Arsenal. And not everyone is just glossing by it. They're going to do the João Felix, here we go, and it's going to distract everyone. But what does João Felix coming into the team actually change? Does he start? Is he creative? Does he finish chances? What exactly does he do that Pedro Neto, who they signed, can't do? Nkunku can't do. Palmer can't do. What I look at Neto, I look at Palmer, I look at Nkunku, and now Felix coming in. That's 4 players with no position. I look at the wingers. This guy started Enzo, Lavia, and Caicedo in midfield, putting Nkunku and Palmer out wide. Are 2 creative players who actually prefer to operate centrally out wide. So now for his special system, who he's been talking about, the way they talk about his system amongst our fan base, you'd think is porn. It's, oh my gosh, his system, oh, I can't cope. They do build up little compilations on Twitter and they speed up the video to 2.5x. So that's how slow and shit the build-up truly is. They do that, oh yes, this system is when it creates 1v1 opportunities for our wingers. And then you don't put wingers on. You play the central players out wide. And then you're going to bring João Felix on, who, once again, operates centrally. I blame the fans at this point. It's because it's clear enablement. I truly think these guys are cocked. I look at them, they sit on their little blue cock chairs, watch us, and then they're going to look at this and say, oh yeah.
He was talking a lot of shit.
I was going to say, I'm
nah, man. They need that. Bring him back. Bring him back. Man. What he's saying is right.
I don't think he made one good point.
Have this opinion.
He's right.
I'm jumping in because everyone's shouting. I'm going to go to Javern and then I'm going to go to Ziad on this. Javern, why do you think he's right?
Well, with a few of the things I was saying why he was right is because where, like I was saying this earlier, where is João Felix going to play? Honestly, address our problems. Felix is not. We had him. He looked okay, but he's not the problem. We need to score goals. A striker needs to be bought in. So he's not. For me, Felix should not come back to the club. He's not happening. It just shouldn't be. You look at the system once again. This whole possession thing. Oh, we look good. But we lost 4-0. What is that? Come on, guys. Like systems, yes. But come on, we have to have some end product. And I agree with him on that too. Like, I don't care if we're sitting back for the whole game and we hoof the ball. I want a win. I don't care how we win. I want a win. Well, I don't care if we look like prime Barcelona. It means fuck all if we don't win. And I don't care if it's Man City because, and then you're going to say, oh, it's only preseason. We lost to fucking Celtic, bro. Preseason or not. It's unacceptable. And
Javern, if that was true, if what you're saying is true and all you need to do is win, so why are people praising Poch's draws then? When he drew against Man City?
Listen, personally...
Jay, sorry to interrupt. That's rhetorical, by the way.
No, it's
why
fine.
Why are people using that as a yardstick if we didn't win the game?
No,
but Javern's making a point. Did Javern do that?
No, I'm saying in general, not him.
But we didn't talk about João Felix. CB did. We didn't talk about him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No one brought him up.
CB brought up points we didn't talk about.
Hang on. But CB didn't challenge you two with the João Felix element, did he? He was just talking. He was talking in general about that. But Ziad, you didn't like what CB said there in terms of almost like there's no improvement. It was awful. What did you make of today's performance, and what have you taken from this that you think you'll now improve on as a team moving forward?
Listen, look, Terry. I'm going to say it simply. Any rival fan that's sitting there having a meltdown, acting as if we're all over, Chelsea's finished. Listen, run your agenda, no problem. But any Chelsea fan doing it and speaking like some comments I've been hearing is quite embarrassing, to be honest. But listen, what I will say is that Enzo Mercesa did make mistakes today. I thought we were in the game for the majority of it, and without his minor mistakes, we probably would have walked away with at least a draw. I don't see Enzo Fernandez, of course, you've been talking about. I don't see why he's starting him there. Talking about Palmer, Jackson, they barely played any preseason games. I don't see why they're starting. You know, look at Man City, they had Phil Foden, didn't play a lot in preseason. He came off the bench. When you look at someone like Noni Madueke, who's had a decent preseason, played a lot of the minutes, and he should be starting. Lavia played a lot of the minutes in preseason. Why is he coming off for Caicedo? Caicedo barely played any minutes. Why is he playing 490 and Lavia isn't?
Yeah, Caicedo started.
No, that's what I mean. Why did he come off though?
He brought on Dewsbury.
That's what I mean. Lavia played the full 90 minutes, played a lot of the games in preseason. He shouldn't have come off. He's the one that was more ready for this game. Looked at Maresca. Not only did he play players in the wrong position, he was playing players that weren't ready. There was players on the pitch that were on the bench more ready than him, and they didn't play. So that's a critic to him. But also, I think the setup wasn't even that bad. The setup wasn't that bad. We were in the game for majority of the game. But you just look at mistake from defensively from Colwill and Fofana. I don't know, Colwill. I mean, some of his defending is quite questionable. When you want to put in a challenge, you put your foot in properly and not be scared that you might get stepped on or any rubbish like that. And you look at Sanchez for the second goal, it's a silly mistake. Not only should he not be giving the ball away, he should also be saving it. So listen, at the end of the day, no meltdown should be going on here. Listen, any Chelsea fans start talking about Clear Lake and why players are coming in, it's nonsense. I think one thing we have learned today, nothing new to be honest, it's just a reminder that we do need a striker. 100% need a striker because again, Jackson shouldn't be missing those chances. And Osherman comes in and he scores them. It's simple as that, really.
I agree. Do you know what? I think what you've said, I didn't even think about that during the game. It's such an amazing point that certain players in pre-season, just like Lavia that did start, had a lot of your minutes, played well, and then weren't really involved today at all. And then other people, I mean, that is a really good point in terms of, I was a little bit surprised by some of the players in the starting lineup. Now you've said that, and I look back with hindsight, it's very true. We're going to come to Andrew in a moment. We've got a lot of super chats to get through. Mo, what was your take on today? And any word on City? What's your thoughts on City today as well? They were playing today. I just thought about that.
Yeah, they looked okay. City looked okay. Second gear, to be honest. I thought they weren't playing up to the same level without Rodri. Kovacic was magnificent. City we just Manchester City. They took their chances. They got like a couple of chances. They took one. Erling Haaland, very lethal. That's why he's the best striker in the world, and that's why they win the league. But I still think that maybe City look first gear, beginning of the season. But I wanted to touch on a couple of things. You know what the problem lately with Chelsea for the last year or two is that the likes of, and that's not a dig at Husam and anything, but me and Husam, we work together a lot. It's now turning into you have to be at one end of the spectrum. You have to be a CB, or you have to back the club to the left. Because what Ziad said is valid. But the problem is what Ziad said, we kept hearing the same points for the majority of the season last season. Exact same. It's too early. We're still waiting to see. The problem with Chelsea that I see the fan base, there is no middle ground. There is no one that sit and say middle ground. It's either you back your team to the full or you bash your team like what CB did. But if you look at Chelsea today, they created opportunities, not clear-cut chances, couple, opportunities for the wingers to work. Nkunku should be okay on the left, and he played on the left. Got isolated with Rico Lewis, created a couple of chances. Enzo Fernandez, for everyone on the panel and everyone on the show, by the way, if anyone here think that Enzo Fernandez played at the 10 today, you're watching the game on the sheet before the game. Enzo Fernandez pissed the ball off 5 times in your half in the build-up play, not 10. He was all over the place. He was not good in the 6. He was not good in the 8. He was not good in the 10. And not only in the second half. He wasn't good today, Enzo Fernandez. The problem with the people that don't understand this, when you make this guy your captain, when he's one of the highest players on the pitch, we have to criticize the guy. He is your superstar or one of these superstars. And when he put a performance like this, when he deserved to be one of the things that I watched today, Enzo Fernandez deserved to be subbed out after 20 minutes. 20 minutes. He almost gave City 3 chances in the first 20 minutes by giving up the ball. Unforced errors, right? And not in the 10, facing the pitch. He gave the ball away. That is one of the things. Enzo Maresca today, offensively, I think he did his job. Chelsea got in good positions to score goals. The players picked it. That's why anyone that says Osman is not good, you have an agenda and you don't want Chelsea to succeed. Anyone, by the way. And for the defense, he still have the same problems. Same problems with Chelsea. This guy doesn't know how to set up a team. Manchester City in the goal had 4 players behind the midfield of Chelsea. No one is marked. No one's marked. Bernardo between the defenders, Haaland between the defenders. Enzo Maresca today did the offensive part, and again, same as preseason, defensive part is lacking. Is lacking. That's my take on Chelsea today. Enzo Maresca needs to fix up defensively. That's why I said Chelsea need an experienced centre back.
I hear you there.
Bro, they don't have anyone. What are you talking about? Again, look at this.
I'm not actually taking the piss. I'm being serious. Tosin, 26.
Husam, they need a good center back to lead. Tosin is just a good defender. They need someone that makes the difference. Did you see Diaz today for Man City? When he's covering everyone, he's covering Gavardo, he's covering everyone. Diaz today. Chelsea, because Enzo Maresca is not an experienced
coach. Won the game in
Sam, let me just finish the point. Let me finish the point. Because Enzo Maresca is an amateur coach in the world of football, he needs experienced players and good players to carry him sometimes. There is no shame in this. Even Xavi at Barcelona was given Lewandowski and good players. Chelsea now with Enzo Maresca look good going forward. Absolutely horrific defense.
Mo, that's not the strategy that we have. Because, again, what's funny is that if we did go and sign an experienced centre-back, everyone would sit here and be like, you've got no plan. Because all you've done is sign young players. So it's again, it's this weird thing of like, no, because it's true, because you can't win. There's like with Chelsea right now, it is just rivals want to have a go.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter what rivals say, David. Sorry to interrupt.
No.
It doesn't matter what rivals say. It matters what your club does. Guys, the comments. Okay, fine. Maresca's come out and spoke. Sorry, mate, just because of interest time. Sorry, brother. I apologize, mate. This here, Maresca has said that we competed well for much of the game. We were similar to City, if not better. In my personal opinion, the performance was there, but we didn't take our chances. How much of this do you agree with, Andrew, with what your manager had just said?
They were half chances. The Jackson one's the only real one in the second half that's a chance. The offside, he's brain dead, but that's just Jackson to begin with, isn't it? I mean, he's got to put out. He's not going to come out and throw people under the bus. He could have said, well, we needed to be better in the final phase. We need to be maybe faster in our actual play because we're very slow today, especially from the back. We didn't, didn't pass it that fast. But yeah, he's not going to come out and go everyone did everything wrong. So I mean, it's just something
on the game. Like, obviously, the manager has the PR to do as his job, whatever. But I don't think we were outcompeted in that game. I think to Mo's point, what he's basically saying, if Chelsea had a striker which we're linked with, and add a centre back, we're very much competing with Man City. That's what he's basically saying without saying it. So,
I don't think we were. I don't think.
Do you agree with him though, Chez? Do you think you're 2 players away from competing with Man City?
Not competing with Man City. I'm saying in this game, in the league in general.
Be on par in the game, like put the chances
on
away.
The game itself. So this is City, not at first gear, by the way. It's City second gear. Chelsea with a better striker and centre back today, more experienced centre backs. Colwill isn't that guy. I think we get away with a draw or win. So that's just me being honest. Doesn't mean we played well. but we could have taken those chances. Man City didn't create abundance of chances. Like, they didn't create loads of chances. I was looking at like,
no.
I just don't think they. I just don't think they need. I think our big
They just have better players, guys. They just have better players.
Well,
I just think
they're 9 years into their whatever they're into, and we're 2 months into it. Like,
exactly.
I just think the man. I just think his sub. I think everyone's right. Mercesa takes some blame. I think his subs killed us in terms of who he took off. I think they killed the momentum. I mean, Lavia, like you said, Lavia was balling out. He was tracking back. He was stopping the counter attacks of City.
No, I got that. I felt it was. I thought City just killed the game off by controlling the ball. Hamza. Sorry, I want to go to Hamza. Hamza, do you agree with what Ches has said and the Chelsea manager this afternoon that they were in and around as good as you today? They competed with you, or do you feel that City were just playing in first gear and kind of toying with the game? Like, how did you see it as a City fan, Hamza?
Yeah, I think. Listen, Chelsea City didn't play in full gear. This is not the best City side you've seen. This is a City side without probably a Ballon d'Or winner, Rodri. Foden was the best player in the Premier League, who was in the bench. John Stones, who was probably one of the best centre-backs in the league, benched. Ake, fantastic. They were missing Alvarez, who's been sold. City were not even top gear. We went to this game, and I scratched my head first. I thought, how can Sterling not be there? The guy who cooks City. A guy who I was scared of. I was like, Sterling, I'm scared of. And as soon as I saw Sterling's not playing, I was licking my lips, Terry. I was like, that's it. 100%. Because he always cooks me. He always cooks Man City. Ask any City fan. As soon as we saw that, I thought, okay, there's a problem at Chelsea. What's going on? And then I look at my lineup. We knew Rodri's not playing. And without Rodri, we know City don't look the same. Kovacic playing solely in midfield without no any other support. With Bernardo, who's an attacking player. With KDB, who's an attacking player. Against 280 million pounds of midfield. 280 million pounds of 3 players is sackable. Trust me, if I'm an investor today and I sold Kovacic for 20 million pounds and I bought 250 million of maize, a bag of maize or a bag of onions that are worthless, that you're telling me that are good. Chelsea got scammed. Enzo Fernandez, you're a captain. You're a leader. Are we serious? There's something about leadership that people don't have. Like, he's not a leader on the pitch. There was no leadership on that pitch. Enzo is the worst captain I've seen. He was appalling, shocking, could not even control the ball. I'm thinking, are you Argentinian? Really, you played with Messi? Are we serious? You played with Messi? Are we serious? Oh, you just got them because of basically technicality. How the hell did you get in there in the World Cup? Chelsea invested. And Liverpool, you better be grateful. You did not get that guy. Now I've realized, you did not get that guy. That guy was sold. That's why Benfica licked their lips. Terry, they signed him 3 months before for 10 million. They got 110 million. They're shocked. They can't believe it. They have to accept it quick. They sold him. They're thinking, oh my God. And he was shocking. He should have been taken off. But there's a lot of Chelsea fans who don't want to call him out. I don't know why. I don't know why Chelsea fans don't want to call him out. That's not the leadership you have on the pitch. That's not how you lead a team. Rico Lewis pocketing Nkunku. What are we doing here? Nkunku was supposed to be a top player. Nkunku didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. Kukurea is another guy. Talking all the... You know, Terry, when you do a lot of talking, Muhammad Ali used to say, when you do a lot of talking, you have to now present it on the ring. You have to do it.
What did Muhammad Ali said? What did Muhammad Ali say?
Muhammad Ali said it. Yeah. When you talk like that, you talk with chest, yeah, you perform straight away. This guy goes out there in Spain, Cucurella, something Paella, something Helen Tremblay, and you sing in front of all these millions of Spanish guys. People are watching you live. First game of the season, you're playing Man City, and you're getting cooked by Savinho. He was cooked with Savinho. At one point, Terry, he got chewed so bad. He laid on the floor pretending he had a hamstring. I thought, you fool, man. You've been cooked. Man, you've been made to look silly today. And Haaland was the guy that scored. Doku, the other guy, oh my God, cooking Malo Gusto. Chelsea fans were telling us, Malo Gusto was cooked today. At one point, he was getting helped by Caicedo and Cole Palmer. Three on him. Doku was it. Kovacic controls the whole midfield. If I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm saying this is a project fraud. This is the biggest fraud in sporting history. I told you before. Remember I said, it's the worst sporting project in sports history. You spend £1 billion, you play that way, you end up 8th. What did you learn from it? Your signings who come off the bench, a Leicester City player, KDH, Kevin Dewsbury-Hall. You think City were going to be scared? You're signing McGill. Who the hell is this? You're signing Anselmo from Argentina. Boca Junior has only played 8 games. You've given Boca Junior 16 million. Renato Vega from Basel. Have you not learned your lesson? You needed to sign the centre backs. Your forward is a joke first. Don't talk about Jackson. If you complain about Nunes, say go to bed every day. Say thank God you never got Jackson.
Yeah, don't try that. Don't try that. That's too far, Hamza. Hamza's not so much. I'll let you talk for enough time, man. That's too far, man. That's too far.
Chelsea.
With Hamza,
it's not an overreaction. Thank God.
The best thing to do
me a favor.
He lives in his own world.
Let me interject for a second, Hamza. Let me go to Javern, then we're going to go to Ziad.
I need to say something. I want to say 2 things. First of all, I'm guessing this guy's a City fan, right?
Yeah. This decade he is, yeah.
Yeah. Tell me, what's your thoughts on what's his name, Jack Grealish?
Very, very. He won us the treble. He was a fantastic player.
He won you. Okay, cool. Right. So I'm gonna ask this. Yeah. First of all, when you started saying this whole 100 billion bullshit about midfield, let's stop that right now because fucking hell. What's his name? What's his name again? Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish is definitely not £100 million worth, but you bought him for that because that's how much the club is willing to go. Please, like it's a 2024 now, it's a new season. Let's stop this whole this is a £200 million midfielder. That players do not go for their value; they go for what they're worth to the club. You've got sense, surely. You look like a grown, intelligent man, so you've got some sense to know. You got You got some sense to know that that's how players go.
No, but you don't. You can't sell your bag of maize for £100 million or bag of onions. Will you say you're ripping me off? Are you gonna say, the guy's giving me £100? That's what he's asking, so I'm gonna buy the same £100 for that bag of onions?
He's got to leave.
I'm very sure you have some intelligence. If you don't have any intelligence, then fair enough.
Your players are not good enough, and a lot of your fan base have not understood that. And we're telling you, I'm a Premier League champion, so I know what to win is.
Hamza lives on Twitter, and that's what I've got to say.
He lives in spaces.
Jack Grealish
literally is
the spaces matrix. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man's plugged in. He's plugged in.
I don't know that players do not go for their value and go for their worth at this age, at your grown age, I'm sure. Then I cannot have a conversation with you.
So you spent Enzo 100 million.
Have a conversation with you.
Guys, I'm gonna jump in. We're gonna go to some of these super chats. There's a lot of them. I want to get each of you to answer some of these for the viewers. First one says that in my opinion, Palmer will not benefit from Maresca's system. Potts let him roam free, whereas now he's restricted to the rigid sort of system. What do you make of that, Andrew? Do you think that's an overreaction to one game, or does it hold water?
Literally, Palmer was all over the place in this game. He didn't stick to one position. What's this guy talking about? Of course, it's an overreaction. It's what all fans do these days. One game, you're great. If you lose the next game, you're the worst. You know what I mean? It just happens all the time. But thank you for your super chat. It's all good.
Oliver here says, Terry, can we give Chelsea credit because they are young and played against a world-class team? I gave Lavia credit today. I thought there was some good. I actually thought their fullbacks played quite well today at Chelsea. I didn't think that they were getting. I actually didn't think
Doku had to move to the left-hand side.
I thought they did well.
In his pocket.
I praised them earlier. I thought they did quite well. Matt here says, talk about CB. CB throws like Palmer today.
Ooh. Palmer was, listen, Palmer had a very quiet game. Apart from that shot that's spilled by Sanchez, he had a very quiet game today. Very quiet.
Oh Lord, this is from Debbie. Oh Lord, City just. What does that say?
Whoa. Don't Terry. For sake, carry on.
I'm moving on. My brain. We'll move on. Cheers, David. Thank you, mate. That's why I love you, brother. That's why you're off the kids' table now. Do you guys think that Cover's handball was a penalty?
No, it wasn't.
It's not under the new direction,
but not this year.
Yeah.
Right.
Agreed. People putting Chelsea within the top 5 is high. Chelsea in 7th or 8th after third. United, Liverpool, Villa, Hammers, Spurs in 7th is what Robert People.
I'd love to know why they think this.
Well,
yeah, I honestly think. Sorry, go on, David.
I was going to say it's 8 teams, so yeah, like being us 7th, 8th, it doesn't even fit. But okay.
But equally, I think it's too early to judge anybody now. This is not the test. Havertz, Cover, and Jorginho are better than Caicedo, Lavia, and Enzo.
I'll tell you.
I find so ironic about these comments. They won the Champions League, so why would I hate them?
I don't hate them, but I tell you for a fact, it ain't better than it's not.
I think what people are saying, what they're saying with that super chat is basically the idea that when majority of Chelsea fans, maybe not you guys, but other Chelsea fans, when those players were sold, talked a lot of crap about them, and now they're playing and balling, and the players you bought to replace them have not actually gelled yet. I'm not saying your players are not good.
For 10 million.
So I'm not saying your players are not good. Your players are good, but they're not there yet together.
You don't even rate Kovacic, Hamza.
They lost Kovacic for 20 million. They lost.
You slated him last season. You slated him. You don't like
that class. You lost that class.
Hamza,
the class, and you bought some trash. That's what you did. And now looking at the team, he looks bad. I'm telling you now, it's Chelsea. That's not your heritage.
Hamza, we sold Jorginho when he had 6 months left on his contract. The fact we got any money
about extending it. You should have thought. Now you regret it.
Napoli just got slapped up 3-0, did they? Wow, Napoli got slapped up 3-0 today. Let's get back to these super chats here. First one says, when Reece James or Enzo don't play, why is he vice captain, by the way? Who the F would be captain?
It does. Enzo Fernandez should not be captain of this club after what happened in the summer. It's a disgrace. Number 8 should not be captain. And Enzo Maresca has put himself in a corner now by making him captain. So now he has to play. This is the first big bad decision he's made, was naming that guy captain.
Who do you believe in?
Cole Palmer.
Cole Palmer?
Yeah.
He's too young to be captain.
I don't care.
Cole Palmer's our captain for me.
You can't be captain.
Why can't he be captain?
Or Drew, you know what? Or Drew, he can set up a leadership team of 4 or 5 players.
Enzo Fernandez should not be part of it. That's the main thing.
Enzo should not be part of it. What happened in the summer?
Shouldn't be at the club. He's a disgrace.
I totally agree with you on that one. They could have just brought 4 players together, somebody in defense, somebody in the midfield, and somebody in attack, and somebody who was always a sub. Like, have one person representing each sector and have that, leadership group together. So I
agree.
John here says, are we discussing how people say Palmer is better than Saka after one breakout season over a kid who has carried Arsenal for 3 years? What do you make of that comment, Ches?
Yeah, I was going to listen. What is that?
Yeah, the comment says, are we going to discuss Palmer? People saying Palmer's better than Saka. Does today prove that he isn't, essentially?
I think he's right about what I've said in the past. And if I've rattled you, well done. Thanks for the super chat, though. That's it. It's one game. I don't know what else to say.
Having the patience and rebuild like Arsenal is not for everyone. Chelsea need genuine experience to help settle this young team. Experience doesn't need to be world beaters, just good enough to help the young ones and build a platform.
Sorry, can I just say something on this comment, please? This whole we can do a rebuild. You know, everyone was Arteta out just 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Arteta did come in and say, "This is my plan." Right, over time,
but it wasn't working.
Listen. Chaz, I've not said anything to you since. I'm just saying he did have a plan, and even when it looked like it wasn't working, we knew where the team was. We saw the progression from 8th to 5th to second. We saw the progression.
Yeah, Arsenal are winning the league.
So the point was, even though you said Arteta out, you could see the progression every season. With Chelsea, the problem was when Poch got good end of last season, in my sense, it's like, you know what? If you bring in a few more players, get some right guys together, give this guy what he needs, barring the injuries you had last season, maybe this guy can cook. So starting with a new manager who doesn't have any experience in the Premiership, right? You have very good, talented players, don't get me wrong, but you now have a manager who's making mistakes like what we've talked about today. Playing players in the 10, playing players who were playing in preseason, putting them on the bench and playing other players. People like Lavia and Kuda Balling should be starting this. So those are the mistakes we're talking about.
Can I respond to one point you said just briefly?
Those are the mistakes we're talking about.
When you said performed well end of the season, that's where, like, even as a Poch outer who wasn't even Poch out for a long season, I wasn't even saying that.
No, not you, general fans.
Yeah, in general, he wasn't playing well, bro. He wasn't playing well. That's what I'd like to hear. Like, people say we're playing good football, getting results. The results were better, but the performances weren't good. Like, even the Man United game, which I was on, that was a very, like, not lucky win, but very fortuitous win. It wasn't a great.
That was a lucky win.
I hear you, Andrew.
We're not going to go, half the season you were 12, but because you got a few results towards the end of the season,
let's look at this.
We're not doing that.
I sat down here last season and I heard Chelsea fans, the first time that Poch played Enzo in the 10, the first game, they came on the channel, they went on different platforms, and they rained on Poch immediately. The first game. So I'm saying, if you've seen that in the first game, you did that to Poch, and then Mercesa does the same thing in this first game, we should have the same energy to say, this guy can't play.
No, right. He didn't play in the 10. This is right. This is a fallacy. He just pressed fire. Pressed fire.
Yeah, guys. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Let's get crack on with this super chat here. I want to throw this one out to Ziad. Can someone tell me what Enzo's best attribute is?
Probably his passing ability. I'll say being able to calm down play when he wants to, but not a lot of fans have patience for that. Slow down the ball, dictate play at his pace. They don't have a lot of patience for that. I thought you saw glimpses today of his passing ability, but in general, from what I saw him in a Chelsea shirt, I'm not really bothered about Benfica and whatnot. It's probably his passing ability, passes in between lines and whatnot. Yeah.
Paul here says at least Astrid Wet can't date most of the Chelsea players as they are underage. Give Clown Lake a 10-year contract is what Paul says. I think City played it like a pre-season game. They controlled the pace, could have stepped up when they wanted to. Is what Donny.
Terry, that's one of the reasons why I went a little bit harsh on Chelsea, because City weren't even that good. City were in first gear and they beat you 2-0. Like, what if they actually tried?
Husam, were Chelsea in full gear?
We don't know Chelsea's full gear.
Chelsea were in full gear.
Yeah, we don't know, David. We don't know.
We don't know what's in full gear.
My point is like acting like Husam saying we were in full gear. You don't even like. It's just too early.
Yeah, you were in full gear. You fully were trying your best in the game. City weren't even that good.
It's been one game. And people are acting like...
My brother, I know it's been one game, but Habibi, we are on the City Chelsea match reaction. What do you want me to talk about? My hair?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, being sat here being like, oh yeah, Chelsea are finished is just a bit crazy. But
I never said Chelsea are finished.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Like,
yeah.
The mood, the tone is saying. You know,
I agree that. Martin here says, Ches, you let me down. No Rodri and Palmer still didn't come up with a clutch moment. Just looked like he was waiting for a penalty, is what Martin
Typical
said.
Arsenal fans relying on other teams, can't do it themselves. Go win a league title and then talk to me.
Oh, Ches.
I have 13, you have 6, Ches, by the way.
Yeah, you just got rattled.
Yeah.
I didn't need to hear it.
There's nothing rattled. You said go win. You said go win one, and I just told you.
Go win the league. Go rely on yourselves. Don't depend on me.
Just like your 6 relegations as well.
Rodri was out for how many games last season? They lost what? Terry, you tell me. They lost what? 7 out of 7 games. They didn't win a game in 7, right? They still didn't win the league. So why are they relying on me for? Go and do your own job. Like, what are we doing
we're talking about today's game.
All the world-class players and Saka the snack.
The super chat was talking about today's game, Chess. It was just talking about how Palmer performed. They didn't talk about whether
they addressed me.
You basically just diverted the entire thing as you normally do. But yeah, carry on.
Man got dominated at his own home and happy like a bad bee. Do you still think Chelsea finishes above United and Spurs? I don't quite
I
know
back
who
us
that's
to
named
finish
at.
above
But...
Spurs, but I didn't put us above United personally.
I think they're all in the same.
Ches also, I'll answer for Ches here. Ches isn't answering any of these questions until the 31st of August. He's been very clear about that in the group chat. So
being consistent.
No, I hear that. All Chelsea complaining Enzo in the 10. I would have taken a 5-1 result, as in Kunku wasn't tracking back Kukurea from the left wing, let alone a 10. Is what Zane says here. So it's a process. It shouldn't take time. But once we say it's a process, it takes time. You're dunking on player performances. Pick a side. Well, do you know what? I'll answer that one and say, look, I think you can criticize individual performances without throwing the baby out with the bathwater. And I think that's what everyone means by patience. You know, I spoke about Man United on Friday. There were some really good bits. There's some bits I'm worried about. But you speak about them both equally. I think what Motok spoke about it earlier. There's a lot of polarization. It's either we're finished. This is Chelsea. We're finished. I don't like any of it. It's never going to get any better. And then some people are sitting there like ostriches with their heads buried in the sand, ignoring anything that's bad. I think you've got to be balanced. Lee here says, what happened to the day where defenders put their body on the line? I'm watching you closely, Levi Colwill. Open your body up rather than turning away. It's only a bag of air. Old school defending has gone. There
100%,
we go.
because Diaz from Man City would have put his body on the line. 100%. He have done it every time. Yes, he didn't. Yes, he literally was scared to get hit by the ball.
Is that David or Kimbo Slice? In fairness, David's about as big as Kimbo Slice now. I was with David in the summer.
R.I.P. Kimbo, man.
But
but Kimbo, I reckon Kimbo was taking a few extracurriculum supplements. You know what I mean? Husam, the other top 4 candidates won't lose, right?
No, that's never what I said. I never said any of that stuff. So, Blaze, you need to stop moving like Randy Orton, hearing voices in your head.
This super chat from Damien says, patience is a virtue. Chelsea is okay, was okay today. No need to go overboard. Wait for 10 games, then give a verdict. This is coming from a gooner that had to watch Bozo Arsenal 4 seasons ago.
Damien, the problem is coming from a gooner. Gunners are patient. Liverpool fans are patient. Even United fans are patient. These guys are.
They wanted Arteta out.
5 games. 5 games. Just wait. 6-7 games. You'll see.
Arsenal wanted Arteta out 2 years ago.
It is true though. But that's what I'm saying. But the difference with
why
us
is
is
lying?
No. But Chaz. There will always be people in the fan base who
fans want to slot out half time.
It was the majority of fans. You want minority of fans.
There'll always be people in the fan base that will
that's his face.
for the manager out. Hear me out. For the manager out. That's for sure. The people who have their own personal agenda and will call for the manager out and say all of that. The point was at the end of every season, you saw the little uptick in improvement in the team. And for reasonable fans, you're like, you know what? We see where this is going, right? So let's wait and see where this is going. Those are reasonable fans.
Yeah.
Of course, you have the unreasonable ones that will keep you. And if you're going to hold on to only the unreasonable ones, which is what I'm saying, Chelsea needs to come to a point where majority of the fans just accept it's a process. It's going to get better. You have very good players in your team. Very good players. But my point is, at the end of the day, Chelsea fans will sit down and talk about how these players are the best players in the world, and then in the next breath say, "Oh, but it's a process." And then if you say you have to wait, they say, "No, we don't have to wait." But Chelsea, you got to pick a struggle.
It's not even the fans. It's not even the fans. It's the board that has to show patience. It's not even the fans. If the board show patience,
very true,
and stop sending mixed signals. Oh, we're going to keep the guy for 5 years, but we're going to fire him in 6 months. What needs to?
I guess they give him a 5 year. They give him a 5 year contract, right? So let's wait and see.
Saad here says, obviously from the group chat says, Ches sounds mad emotional.
Takes one to know one.
He does. I can't lie.
Takes one to know one.
C here says, stop virtue signaling, Andrew. John Terry was captain. Your mouth was zipped up. That.
Well, first of all, you didn't know. First of all, I wasn't on Twitter in 2012, so you don't know me. And these guys know that. These guys know my opinion on John Terry. Should know. I wanted him gone in 2012. He's a disgrace himself. He's a disgrace. He's not in my.
And I will say that I've done enough shows and met Andrew enough times in person to know that I've heard him say that before on other occasions. So just to put that out there, 110%. I've seen and heard Andrew say that many times. Genuine question. How did Enzo end up with the captain's armband? Surely he has to start every match now. I think Chelsea need a... Could I throw this out as a question? Could this be one of those moves where the Clear Lake have said he's got to play because of what we paid? We've got to make this deal work, make him captain and play him. Or do you think this is genuinely the manager? Like, throwing it out there as a question.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that. I was going to say this. I believe they hired Enzo Maresca because he's a yes man. Not any other manager, top manager, comes in, sees the players of that quality playing that poor, would continuously play him. There's no way. Top managers will come in and they'll bench him. Mourinho would bench him. Tuchel would have benched him. Arteta would have fought for him. Arteta got rid of Aubameyang. He came from Man City with that understanding that if you're bad for the football club, it doesn't matter how big you are, I'll get rid of you. And that's what I believe. They managed to get a yes man. Now they're under pressure of keeping to constantly play a player that won the World Cup, according to Chelsea fans. And now they love Cucurella because he won a Euros. And now they're under pressure. He just has to say yes. Because Enzo Maresca is a yes man, and he has done a...
All managers can I play devil's advocate? Can I play devil's advocate? Maybe Maresca is sitting down there and saying, I see something in Enzo and I'm going to give him responsibility as a captain, because sometimes responsibility eventually makes you a better. I'm just saying we can look at it from two aspects. This is not about just banter, right? I've seen a player like Martin Odegaard, who we brought on loan, did okay. We had him with what's the other guy's name that we had from Real Madrid, both of them, and the other guy went back. And when we made him captain, I was like, this guy is too quiet. He's young, you know. But we've seen what being a captain can do to a player. It can actually make some players step up.
Is he thinking, Dio? Is he thinking that he's won things? Do you know what I mean? Even at international,
he's also thinking, you've won the World Cup.
I don't agree. He should be after the summer, but
so Danny Ceballos. Sorry, that was the name I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's it. My problem is that shouldn't have topped what happened this summer. Do you know what I mean?
No, I agree. No, I agree with you.
And we all know, don't we? If this guy was worth 10 million, he wouldn't be at the club right now. Or we paid 10 million, he wouldn't be at the club right now. It's all because of what we paid for him.
Drew, I totally agree. I totally agree.
By the way, Hamza, all managers are yes men. Even Pep Guardiola is a yes man.
No, Pep Guardiola will bench. He got rid of Ronaldo.
Yeah, he really wanted Calvin Phillips. Yeah, he really wanted Calvin Phillips. Yeah, really wanted.
This here says, "What's your opinion on Chelsea extending Palmer's and Jackson's contracts for 2 more years?" I've read that to Ziad.
It's a good move. Good move. Rewarding them for their performances last season. Look, we didn't finish well in the league, but if the players perform well, the board are clearly showing that you'll be rewarded for that. Palmer and Jackson are great examples. And now you get us into the Champions League football, and now you get even more of a reward. Simple as that.
Blaze says Enzo Maresca's first game against league champions and no agenda CB comes in and slates the whole team a manager for rivals in the chat, but he has no agendas. God's will here says CB chatting absolute rubbish, no logic whatsoever. Chelsea shouldn't be talking about top 4. We have been doing that for 7 years, you moron. Chatting bollocks is what God's will says. Izzy here says you need a keeper and a striker. You have to ask why, with over 1.5 billion spent, why Jackson up front looking like Eddie Nketiah on red.
Give Sanchez a chance, Terry. Give Sanchez a chance because he can play the ball. Give him a chance.
Even Barca with Iniesta and Xavi struggled to score at the Bridge due to the small pitch. Just look at the stats. What chance is clone a Guardiola have? James here says Maresca talking about being as good as City is an absolute joke. Clueless manager who won't be here on the 1st of January. Chelsea absolute ceiling is 6th, is what James O'Mara says here. The Chelsea brother, you still on Rice and Co. Or is Enzo on the big fraud watch after all? Felt Palmer sprayed some good passes, but had to drop deep, is what Sky King says here. Look, absolutely fantastic show. All the super chatters, you're amazing. Everyone who's hit the like button, you're brilliant. It is the first game, so I don't think we should be overreacting at this point. There's no doubt about it, but fun nevertheless. I want to shout out our title sponsors today, NordVPN. If you don't have a VPN provider, you're mad. If you do, drop whoever they are if they're not NordVPN. They're the best out there. Go and sign up to an account now. I can give you a 2-year plan plus an extra 4 months for free. And on top of that, like I've said, you can use your geolocation to go and download and use Setanta Sports. You get everything you can see on the screen now for $3.99 a month. And the best bit, it is legal. Okay, this isn't pirate streaming or anything crazy like that where you can get in trouble. This video is going to take you now through to Mo and Husam's channel for their review of today and the weekend. So go across now and support the boys on their channel. Go and subscribe and like and do all of that. To my panel, absolutely brilliant to see most of your faces again after what felt like a bloody long summer off.
Terry,
with very little.
Terry, let me say last thing.
Oh yes, go on, Hamza.
I like it. Oh, City will win 5 in a row. We're gonna win 5 in a row. Come on, let's go.
Take care. Goodbye. God bless, and we'll see you again soon. Peace.